What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today I want to dive in with you all. And today I want to talk about something that I feel gets talked about often, but sometimes I think that there's no direct application or there's no direct way that we can tangibly do certain things to where ultimately it allows us to expand our authority, expand our influence, and ultimately helps us build trust with clients. So therefore, that can help us generate higher levels of revenue, higher levels of income. So what I want to do now is I want to get ready to dive in so I can show you today. I want to give you 3 ways that you can build your authority. All right. 3 ways that you can build your authority. And ultimately, it should help you increase what's going on in your business. All right. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. I want to give you those. Welcome to the Your Podcast Mentor Show with Jonathan Jones. Here you will learn how to start, launch, and monetize your podcast. In addition to hearing the latest trends and the latest and greatest things happening in the podcast industry. Are you ready? All right, family. What's going on? I'm Jonathan Jones, and I want to welcome you to the live Your Podcast Mentor Show, where we talk about podcast how-tos, we talk about interviews, and we also do a little bit of podcast news. But today, I want to dive into some content, and I want to show you 3 ways for you to build your authority. All right. I want to give you 3 ways that you can build your authority in this space by leveraging the platform, leveraging the avenue of that thing that we like to call a podcast. All right. A podcast. So what are we saying? What are we saying right now? So if you're a speaker, you're a coach, you're a consultant, and you're out there and you're saying, John, I'm somebody who's focusing or looking towards growing my business, looking towards generating more leads, looking towards positioning myself to really win in the industry. Well, this is just for you. All right. This is just for you. All right. So now without further ado, I want to let you all know, if you have not already tapped in and signed up for the challenge, look, we got the 5-day podcast challenge coming up where I'm going to show you how you can position yourself as the go-to expert in your industry, giving you everything that you need to roll out and start your podcast over the course of 5 days. All right, we got the 5-day podcast challenge coming up just next week. We have a few VIP slots just left, and we have about 51 registrants locked in. So we're going to open up a few more spaces. Just to give you an opportunity to get tapped in and get this information. But go to the link just down below in the show notes. But it's www.5days2podcast.com. All right, 5days2podcast.com. So now let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's get into it. Okay. I want to get into it. Okay. Let's whoop. Okay, let's get into it. And the first way that I want to show you to really build your authority, and this is one thing that if we take the time to do it, it can really set us up at a high level above the competition, and even set us up in a way to where we can fill in the gaps that might exist within our industry. John, what are you saying? So first things first, I want you to think about what industry you're in right now. And with you being in this industry, I want you to think about, why are you in this industry? Okay. I'm not going to hit you with the what is your why, or I'm not going to challenge you like that. But what I am going to say is this: if you assess the experiences that you have in your life, like you really take time and you look and you're like, well, wow, I've done this for 10 years. I've done this for 15 years. I've done this for 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, however many years. You have experience. And by way of you having experience, now I want you just to dig a little bit deeper, and I want you to do this for me. The fastest way for you to become an authority, it's your research, baby. It's your research. You can begin to research. Think about it like this. If you wake up every morning at whatever time you get up, and then you go on Google, and then you type in, let's say you type in how to print apparel. And then every morning you go and you look at the news tab to see what people have been saying in the apparel industry. You look to see what are the newest headlines in the apparel industry. And then you share what somebody shared on CNN or Fox or from wherever these big conglomerates are. Imagine that you take that information and then you share it to your tribe, to the people who are following you, to your community. After a while, you're going to be the authority in your industry because you've done your research. And then there's going to come a point in time to where people are going to say, oh, wow, I didn't know this about the apparel industry. And they're going to say, oh, I've been going to Susan's page. And every morning, Susan shares the fact that in the apparel industry, the cost of cotton is going up. The cost of this type of equipment or this type of equipment to print apparel is going up or it's decreased. So therefore, by way of you doing your research and you doing your due diligence, now people are going to see you as the authority. And then they're going to begin to go and refer to your content to find out more about clothing because, we can be lazy. We can be so lazy. However, if somebody else makes it easy for us to go see all of the news right here on their Instagram page, right here on their YouTube channel, listen to it right here on their podcast, then that's going to make us go there even more. So we want to do our research to become an expert in our space. That's the first way. And that's one of the easiest ways because you can go on so many different websites. You can see the frequently asked questions about your industry and then just pull the research. What's interesting? What's not? What I want to share? What do I not want to share? Okay, this is good. That isn't good. Boom. All right. So that's the first way that I want to share with you how you can become an authority. And the next way is taking what you get from the research, putting your own spin on it, and then getting in reps. When I used to play basketball, I played junior college and JV, and I was never the best player. I really struggled to get an understanding of the plays, right? I would look at the plays and I'm looking and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. What is going on right now with these plays? But over time and time progressed, right? We're talking about the 3 ways to build your authority fast. As time progressed in the industry or at practice, right? At practice, time progressed. And then I started to realize, oh, wow, the more I do the play versus the more I'm on the sidelines and I'm looking at the play and watching it and all that, the better understanding I get. When you begin to get out here and you start to have repetition and you start showing up and you start showing up, and then every time somebody sees you, you're talking about basketball. Every time somebody sees you, you're talking about personal development. Every time somebody sees you, you're talking about whatever your particular focus is. You're going to start to get the repetition of sharing content on this subject. It's like your content matter is an axe and the opportunity is a tree. Every time, boom, you hit it, you get another rep. Boom, you hit another rep. Boom, you hit it, you get another rep. And eventually the authority tree will fall because you knocked it down by putting in repetition day after day after day after day. All right. So the second way for you to build your authority fast, repetition. The fastest way to grow a muscle is to work it out, to get in reps, right? If we never get in reps, we can't build the muscle of us speaking about a topic, of us speaking about whatever our passion is, all right? I never got good or I never got a better understanding of how to podcast until I started a podcast. And I did episode after episode after episode. Some were good, some were bad. Episode, some were short, some were long. Episode, interview. All right. So we need to put in a level of repetition. Need to put in a level of repetition so that we get better and we really begin to hone in on what we say that we want to be known for, what we say that our industry is. You'll never be known if you're never seen, and you'll never be seen if you never put in the reps. All right. And then finally, this one probably is one of the shortcuts easily to being the authority in your field. Easily. Okay. So there's a few different ways you can go about it. Okay. But before I dive into it, I want to make sure that everybody knows that if you're a speaker, coach, or consultant, make sure to go to www.5days2podcast.com and spell it out so you can sign up for our podcast challenge. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know in 5 days of how to get your podcast up and running. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got it? 5days2podcast.com. We got the link down in the show notes. So go ahead and sign up. Like I said before, we got a few VIP slots left. And we just extended the room, the virtual room for general admission. So you can sign up for general admission. But I would encourage you to go in VIP because you can ask me whatever question you want. And we can go dive in on some laser coaching in a bonus session. All right. So the third and final point I want to share with you all is right here. Third and final point. The fastest way to market, the fastest way to credibility, the fastest way to really be able to explode a business is not through ads. It's not through throwing dollars out there, because you can throw dollars out there. There's no guarantee it's going to give you a return. I want to share with you all this. There's a gentleman who came to my house the other day. All right. I've been here with my wife. We had about 2 days where we were without water. 2 days because we had a leak in the front yard, a pipe bust. And we called one guy. He came over. He looked at it. He was like, man, I can get out there by Wednesday. We called another person. They told us the quote is this much. We called somebody else that told us the quote was that much. They were just going all around. And then I was speaking with my father-in-law. He said, let me see who I know. He went in, called a gentleman. His name was Mr. Lamont. Mr. Lamont pulled up here the next day. He said, I'll be there at 12. He showed up here at like 11:15. Okay. I'm going somewhere. We're going somewhere with this. I promise. So Mr. Lamont pulls up. And then when Mr. Lamont pulled up, we started talking to him. He hopped out. He grabbed his shovel. He just started digging. My wife said, well, what are you doing? You're not going to like look at it and assess it first? He said, no, ma'am. How long y'all been without water? We told him 2 days. He said, oh, nah, y'all got to get y'all water on today. Y'all can't be without this. Y'all got to get y'all water on today. My man started digging and started digging and started digging. And he ended up fixing it in it was less than 1 day, really, because he came immediately the following day. And then he began just to get to work. And by him coming in, saving us in this situation, he showed me the third point that I want to share with you all today. The fastest way to build credibility in a market and authority is through relationships. My father-in-law called this gentleman through somebody that he knew. They knew him, or he knew him, by way of previous work that he's done with other people and other individuals. John, what are you saying right now? What I'm saying is this. When you do good work for people, they develop a relationship with you. And when they develop a relationship with you, they come back, and they come back, and they come back, and they come back. And then they refer other people. Then they tell other people. Then they tell other people. So what am I saying? When you get your first client, if you get them for free, if you need to pay to get them, or if they pay you a smaller fee than what you're used to, when you get your first client, treat them right. When you get your first client, serve them well. And when you serve them well and when you treat them right, then they're going to tell other people. And then when they tell other people are going to want to find out about what is it that you do so well. Then they want to find out, wow, you take such care of your community. You take such great care of your tribe. So now people take an interest. Now people want to do business with you because you do good business and you do right by people. So family, I want to go through and just recap these really quick. But like I said before, if you have not hit the link down in the show notes, we got the 5 days to podcast challenge, 5 days of podcast challenge. You're going to learn everything you need to know about getting your podcast up and running in 5 days. All right. So we talked today about the 3 ways to build your authority fast. All right. And the first way we talked about was you getting out here and you doing your research. If you never take the time to do your research, if you never take the time to do your research, then you can't expect to be a thought leader in your space. Okay. You never can. You never can. Second was repetition. If we never put in reps, we never work out the muscle of our speaking skills. We never work out the muscle of us going and talking about what we love to do, what we're passionate about doing, what drives us to do what we do. We'll never build the authority because we never took the time to put in the reps. You got to get in some reps, family, in whatever industry, anywhere. You can't get around the work. The work is the work. All right. And that's just it. And the third way was through relationships. Who do you know that can benefit from my service? That's a great question to ask somebody who says that they're not interested in your service. We say, if you're not interested, who do you know that you think could benefit from starting a podcast? Right? I tell people all the time, I say, do you know a speaker, coach, or consultant that you know needs to start a podcast? They say, well, John, I think I might. We'll send them my way. Okay, John, we'll do. And then when they send them my way, I send something their way. I'm very appreciative for people that bring me good business and people that bring me clients. I'm very appreciative. I like to show my appreciation because I was raised right. All right. So there it is, family. The 3 R's. The 3 R's: research, repetition, and relationships. That's the fastest way. That's the fastest way to build your authority in any industry. Research, repetition, and relationships. All right, family. So I appreciate you all rocking with me. And it's your podcast mentor, Jonathan Jones. And until next time, I want you all to remember, please remember, we're here to help you establish your platform so you can profit on purpose from your podcast. All right. Till next time. Peace and God bless.